In this video, we are going to continue looking at our key features of linear functions by looking at slope. We are going to take our notes in our booklet on pages 5 and then on 7. Page 6 is a different video. As always, you are going to watch, you are going to listen, and you are going to take notes. So let's start by talking about the rate of change. Rate of change is a ratio, which is a comparison, that compares the change in y to the change in x. Now, rate of change in general is just that, the change in y over the change in x. It's the difference in y values over the difference in x values, difference being subtraction. Now, with a linear function, with a function whose graph is a line, the rate of change is always constant, and we call that the slope. So the slope of the line is the rate of change between the 2 points. And when we talk about slope, when we talk about our change in y over change in x, what we normally say is rise over run. So we look at the rise over the run. So if I'm looking at my line here, and I'm going to find 2 points that are right on my grid, so I'm going to use the 2 points that are already kind of marked here, right there and right there. If I count up and over, what I'm going to do, my rise, counting up from one point to the other, I'm going to start down here. I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4, so the rise is 4, and I would go to the right 1, 2, 3, so the run is 3. So the slope of this line is 4 over 3. Slope of this line is 4 over 3. The rise is 4, I'm going up 4. The run is 3, I'm going to the right 3. Let's take a look at these 2 examples here. So I've got my 2 points marked. Notice that the points that I'm choosing are right on where an x and a y grid cross. So it's right where they're crossing. That makes it easier for us to be exact with our counting. We wouldn't want to use that point there, for example, because it's not right on the grid. So I'm going to start by drawing in my little slope triangle. I am going to count up, and I'm going to count over. I think this might be the same example, actually. So when I count up, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise is 4, and I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3. So my run is 3. I didn't do that on purpose where I'm using the same example, but that's okay. Now, taking a look at our second example here. Again, I've clearly marked our dots for us here, our points that are right on the grid. Those are the ones I'm going to use. I could have also used this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here. I could have used any of those because all of those are right where we're crossing. Okay, so I'm going to draw my triangle in. This time I'm going to count down and to the right. So I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4. And since it's down, it's going to be negative. And to the right 2. So my slope, I counted down 4 and to the right 2. I can reduce that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So my slope for this one is negative 2. We're going to continue practicing this, but let's take a look at the different types of slopes first. We're going to skip our slope formula page for now. We're going to come back to that. So we're skipping that page and we're going to 7. We're going to talk about classifying slopes. So when I talk about classifying slopes, I'm talking about telling us whether it's positive, negative, 0, or undefined. Those are the 4 cases that can happen. Now I'm going to look at each of these, and in fact, if we look at it overall, my entire page, notice my positive slope, which is this one, is rising from left to right. My negative slope is falling from left to right. My zero slope is flat like the horizon. It's a horizontal line. And my undefined slope is vertical. Remember, our vertical lines are not functions. The fact that the slope is undefined kind of contributes to that. Now what I would like to do is go ahead and take a look at finding the actual slope for each of these using our slope triangle. So first, our positive slope. I'm going to count up. My triangle's already drawn in. I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I counted up 8. And I'm going to count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting to the right 10. So my slope here, let me try that again. My slope here is rise of 8, run of 10. So 8 over 10. I can reduce that. 2 goes into both, so that would be 4 over 5. And that is positive. Let's take a look at our negative slope. I'm going to draw my slope triangle this way. Doesn't matter which one you start with, which one you end with. Just be careful when you're counting. And I'm using the 2 points that are already labeled there. And I'm going to count up first. My rise goes first. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my rise is 8. And I'm going to count to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now because I went to the left, it's going to be negative. My slope is 8 over negative 8, which reduces to negative 1. Notice my slope is negative, and again, it looks like it's going down a hill, down from left to right. Let's take a look at our 2 special cases, our horizontal line and our vertical line. So I don't have any points marked here, so I'm just going to pick 2. I'm going to choose, whoops, let me try that again. I am going to choose this point here and this point here. No particular reason why I chose those. Now, my slope is rise over run. Notice I cannot draw my slope triangle in because it doesn't rise at all. My rise here is 0. I don't go up or down any to go from one point to the other. I can count out my run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 0 divided by 6 is 0. So my slope there is 0. Notice on my undefined one, again, no points are chosen, so I'm going to choose 2. This time my slope, I can rise. I'm going to rise starting at this point here. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3. But I don't have any run. I don't go left or right any. Right there is why it's undefined. You cannot divide by 0. It is mathematically illegal. So my slope here is undefined. Again, our 4 cases that can happen. Positive slope rises from left to right. Negative slope falls from left to right. 0 slope is a horizontal line. And an undefined slope is a vertical line.